We're here at Quest Multisport in Chicago. Just finished up the G League portion of the Combine here. We're going to go into the draft eligible players here shortly. The gym is packed, with high-level executives. We're going to see about 40 guys hitting the floor and a lot of talented prospects. Jonathan, you've covered a lot of these guys, at the college level. Who's maybe a name that first comes to mind that you're really looking forward to diving into and you think has a lot at stake here today?
Well, quite a few guys that I'm really interested in seeing, but one guy that sticks out to me is Jalen Pickett from Siena, analytics darling. His stats are absolutely monstrous. Playing at a low level, one of the worst teams in college basketball, rated in the low 300s of KenPom. Played at a very slow pace, but just a freshman. Has great size, great frame. I'm curious to see how he looks athletically because on film, he does not pop. He looks a little bit slow. And so how does he separate himself, going up against athletes from the ACC, from the SEC? What kind of impact can he have here?
Yeah, for sure. I think he's an interesting name, just given the numbers he put up and his decision to, come to this at such a young age. Daquan Jeffries is one guy I really want to see, just in terms of he's a prototype wing, a multi-positional defender, 6'5", 7-foot wingspan, had a great showing at Portsmouth. Athletically, I think he's going to stand out. I want to see just, how he asserts himself. I think he had some times this past season, he averaged 13 points a game. He wasn't a guy who always showed up every night. Isn't really the most aggressive guy by nature. So I want to see how he looks in this setting. If he's flying around, guarding multiple positions, being an athlete, making shots, I think he's someone who can make a case for, hearing his name called on draft night.
Yeah, he's really helped himself in this pre-draft process. I got to see him at Portsmouth. Played phenomenal. I mean, he made shots more than he did over the course of his college career. I'm curious to see how much that translates. How good of a shooter is he really? He was very, very aggressive at Portsmouth. Really helped himself in the pre-draft process. Had some very strong workouts, I've heard. He's a guy that could go in the 30s, I think, if he has a good showing here. And the question is, does he need to move up to the NBA Combine? That's what a lot of people are asking here. How are things going to play out with this process? Maybe a guy plays so well here at this G League Combine that he doesn't need to play at the NBA Combine. Are people going to get shut down? I mean, do you see Max Strus come out and make 6 or 7 threes and a half like Kyle Kuzma did a few years ago, and maybe he doesn't have to advance to the next stage of this? I'm curious to see how it plays out because it's a pretty talented group of guys, and how are they going to come together? Which point guard is going to separate himself? Justin Robinson, another guy that I loved at Portsmouth. Is he able to take the next step here and play well? So it'll be a fun 2 days here.
Yeah, I want to see what the brand of basketball is like as well, because you have a lot of guys who were the man on their college team who are really just bucket getter types, right? You have Justin Wright Foreman, you have Chris Clemens, you have Amir Hinton, who's maybe the most interesting story in this group in terms of Shaw University, D2, can really score. How's he going to look against this level of competition? You can go down the line, whether it's Caleb Martin, I think James Palmer, guys who are
thirsty guys
who want to get buckets. So is a guy like Andrew Nemhard, who's a pass-first guy who's trying to get others involved. How does he separate himself in this setting? I just want to see what the style is going to look like.
For sure.
Yeah, and then you can go down the list. Matur Maker, a lot of
Taco Fall. Some love for Taco in a story that we heard today. Got measured today, and the apparatus was not long enough to measure his wingspan, apparently, so they had to improvise. I mean, I guess that means he has over an 8-foot wingspan. I'm not sure. I'm curious to see when those measurements come out. But, anytime you get a chance to see Taco Fall play, you got to take it, right?
I think it's a huge win. and it's funny, one of the coaches asked me, they're playing Taco Fall in the first game, and they said, what do we do? I'm like, I don't know, man.
Drop?
You got to drop. You got to run. I would just run him off the floor, honestly. But, I think the group we have here is a really interesting mix, underclassmen, upperclassmen. So, we're going to be locked in and checking out, who really shines in front of a lot of high-level executives. And it's a big opportunity, I think, to have this before the Combine. A lot of names that I think some teams would have even liked to see in the main Combine. So we'll be locked in. We'll be sending updates, and just keep following us throughout today and tomorrow. It should get pretty hectic with the lottery around the corner. So stay tuned, and we'll bring you some more content.